and also heightening our struggle to the level of defiance and resistance. No more persuasion. They cannot be pursued to do the right thing. They are indulging in this criminal exercise on the national economy and the society. So it has to be a defiance and resistance. And our last 4 years of experience says, wherever we defied, wherever we combated, we could make them retreat, be it in the electricity sector, be it in the coal sector, be it in the other sectors of the economy. There are many successes of making those criminals retreat. Defiance and resistance is the buzzword of our future strategies. And we are planning this at CI2 platform. We are working on this prescription on our joint platform along with the Kisans, which is also one of the major component of the struggle we are integrated in, and at the same time, the united platform of the Central Trade Unions and Independent Federation, simultaneous exercise is going on to plan our future course of action, to combat, to make them retreat, and finally throw out these elements from the right of the governance of this country. That is the target, that is the goal with which CI2 will try to make its own organizational exercise in this 17th conference of CI2, and I hope our entire delegation will rise to the occasion and with the best wishes to be conveyed by our friends and colleagues of other central trade unions. That will be an important energy for our delegations to carry on their review, their organizational task, to prepare for a heightened, defying combat to save the people and save the nation. With these few words, I welcome again and our basic understanding about the task before the conference I presented before you. With this, I conclude. Cpimap Jindabad.
Now Comrade Devrai will make an announcement related to the simultaneous translation.
Comrades, simultaneous translation in 6 languages are going on. That is become the practice of CI2. So delegates, hopefully all of you have collected the instruments along with the registration. 1 or 2 comrades I believe who has missed, you should collect it. This is number 1. But before that, you have to note down the which channel, which language and frequency. That you note. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand smoothly. First, please note down channel number 1, language English, frequency 72.3. Channel number 1, English language, frequency 72.3. Channel number 2, Hindi, frequency 72.5. Channel number 3, Tamil, frequency 72.7. Channel number 4, Telugu, frequency 72.9. Channel number 5, Malayalam, 75.5. Channel number 6, Kannada, frequency 75.7. Channel number 7, Bengali, frequency 75.9. So you have to put the proper channel and adjust the frequency number also. When I went to the ground, some comrades said they are getting disturbance because they did not put the proper frequency also. It is to match channel number and frequency. I'll request that with a great expectation, practice and expenditure, this arrangement has been made. All the delegates should put and utilize the machine and understand the speeches in your respective languages. Thank you.
Yes, comrades, as already Tapan has informed, and it has been a regular practice in all our conferences to invite the central trade unions with whom we are working in a joint platform. So we have with us the leaders of INTUC. Comrade Amarjit Kaur has just reached. Comrade from HMS, Comrade VP Nagnath will be joining. Comrade Somasekhar from AIUTC is here. Comrade B. Rajendran Nair from TUCC is also here. Sonia George from SEWA, she will be reaching soon. Comrade Clifton from AICCTU, V. Veluswamy from LPF, and Comrade Ashok Ghosh from UTUC are also here. So first, I request Comrade R. Chandrasekharan, Vice President of INTUC, to extend his greetings to the conference. R. Chandrasekharan ji.
Thank you, Madam. The President of the function, Comrade Hemalata, Sri Tabanda, our sister Amarjit Kaur is coming, so I extend my welcome to Sister Amarjit Kaur. Leaders on the dais, fraternal delegates, different trade union leaders, my brothers and sisters. It gives me immense pleasure to address this very important national conference of the Center of Indian Trade Unions, CITU, on behalf of Indian National Trade Union Congress and also on behalf of Dr. G. Sanjeev Reddy. I wish you all success in your conference. Not only the conference, your future endeavors and future struggles which is planned today and other 3-4 days to come. It is very important that the National Conference of the Trade Unions, which is being discussed about the modalities, future plan of agitations, and for that moment, we consider it is very important that the CITU conference gives maximum support for the total trade union movement in the country. Comrade Tapan is our elder brother. We always look at him and his team to deliver very strong platform to support the trade union struggles in the country. We all know there is no much need of any explanation of the present government in the country. What is their agenda? What is their procedures? What is their programs? And how that will damage the country? They want to divide each community separately. They want to divide people. They want to divide and make use of that division for their acquiring power. We never expected such a situation in this country. We all know, I don't take much of your time, we all know when the freedom was given to India, how the programs and developments take place in this country. 5-year plan, programs started by the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and his visionary decisions on this country's progress. More loudly we can say mixed economy policies brought in by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Now again we are all talk about the competition between the public sector and private sector. So long back the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's ideology and vision, his programs and governance provided the country's overall progress. Later on, during 90s, the country has switched over to liberalization, privatization policies. We may differ each other whether that change was good or bad. There are differences of opinion. We believe that new economic policy brought in several good things. At the same time, several unexpected bad things behind it. Naturally, the country's wealth generation, its production, its commercial activities, profit and loss, sustainability of the growth, everything was, on those days it was in a crossroad and it was in trouble. There were a lot of governments change. That government brought in their own agendas, combined political party organizations, formed the governments, and there were a lot of confusions, and finally those days the economy of this country was doomed down. So from there, the struggles which has been carried out by different political parties, that has reached the present situation of the political arena of this country. Unfortunately, the progress that has been made by this country by different governments has been now under serious threat. Now the communal division takes place. Overall progress and unity of the people of this nation is under severe threat. So there needs a total relook into the activities, in the affairs, in the ongoing governance of this country. For that, we are struggling for getting the trade unions together. We are struggling for getting all workers bring to a common platform to oppose the anti-national, anti-labor policies of the Narendra Modi government. To some extent we are achieving some good momentum, good results. But at the same time, the core sectors in the country has been totally scheduled for privatization. Big industries, insurance sector, financial sector, all the sectors are under serious problems faced. What is the agenda of the government? Nobody knows, including the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh. They are not agreeing with the policies of the government to some extent. They oppose the programs brought in by the Modi government. They are also very strongly criticize the government. But this government go ahead with their private agendas. They want to take India into a different economy, different power, where the Hindu communities are the only communities which can be in the forefront for governance. It is quite dangerous. The trade union workers have no community at all. We have only one community. That is in India, only one community, that is the working class community. There is no other community. For that, we have started our joint trade union movement in the country for last more than 10-11 years. But we are not totally achieving our goals because we are not able to stop the entire transport system. We are not able to bring Indian railways into mainstream of struggles. We are not able to do other major sectors to come together to put forward in the work stoppage and national strikes. So that shows, though we are mobilizing our workforce in a common platform, the impact, financial impacts are there, we know that. But who cares the financial impact? The central government will never care about the financial impact and problems of the people. The impact on the struggles, 1 day strike, 2 day strike, this strike is not giving an impact on the common life, common people life. That also we are struggling. We are in constant contacts with those unions also, those federations. What is the future ahead? There has to be some understanding, some sort of consensus between the trade unions and their political organizations. Slowly it is coming out, but still lot of differences are cropped up. Unless until all the trade unions, including BMS, all the federations, all the political organizations come together to fight it out, to bring this Modi government, communal government down, I am doubtful to get into the full benefit of our unity struggle. We know the limitations of the international forums. I can see world leaders sitting on the dais. But the international trade union organization, ILO, ITUC, WTF, all these organizations has got their own limitations to come and perform. I was in the ILO governing body for about 7 years. What is their approach? What is their decision-making system? How far that is beneficial to the working class? How far they are able to compel the governments, to pressurize the governments, to agree to the workers' issues and workers' demands. So the entire system has to be totally revamped, and now the prices are going up. Our export-import ratio is coming down. India is facing acute financial problems. Our border countries are not happy with us. Internal differences are cropping up. Even between the states, lot of differences are coming up. So altogether, what is the result? After BJP come into power in 2014, the country's performance as a whole is under major question. BJP may not understand this because they have the communal agenda alone. If this country is losing its credibility, if this nation is under question mark from international UN and other agencies, if the country's government is under question from the different economists and their approach is entirely different. They don't care even Amartya Sen. They don't care even Raghuram Rajan. They don't care the best performers of the financial sector in the world. They go accordingly. They want to put new slogans. They want to divide the people. Only because of that division, they can continue their power in the country. That is their thinking. Anyway, this is a very critical situation. When we discuss our national conference, INTC is going to have the plenary session on February 22nd and 23rd. There are lot of discussions take place. In that discussions, I want to declare here that at any cost, we want to continue this labor unity and workers unity, trade union unity. In whatever differences here and there is there, we have to sort out the difference and go and little more aggressive way. The farmers are on struggle, trade unions are on struggle, NGOs are on struggle. All the sectors in this country are on struggle to safeguard the benefits are already achieved. Everybody is struggling to protect the benefit achieved. Instead of getting more and more, we are now struggling for protecting the benefit achieved. So, under this situation, I once again appeal to all comrades here to have more serious look into the unity of trade unions and also to consider more political consensus to down these governments and safeguard the interests of the working class of this country. With these few words, I am quite happy Dr. Sanjeev Reddy was not able to come. He directed me to come here, and I always very happy to address the CITU conference. My very close association with Dr. Pandey and several other senior leaders in the CITU fold. We want to continue this brotherhood relationship, and also we hope better future for the working class in this country. Thank you. I again express my gratitude and sincere appreciation for this very historic conference at Bangalore by CITU in its 17th National Conference. I again congratulate you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
We thank Chandrasekharan ji for his greetings. Now I request Comrade Tapan, our General Secretary, to present a memento to Chandrasekharan ji.
Thank you. Oh, this is a wonderful bag. Yes, new technology bag. New technology.
Now I request Comrade Amarjit Kaur, General Secretary of AITUC, to greet the conference.
Comrade Chair of the session, the whole leadership of C2 sitting on the dais, my dear friends and comrades from other central trade unions, and dear to all of us, to you and us, Comrade Pambis, General Secretary of World Federation Trade Union, my dear comrades and friends, media persons for this open session. First of all, I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to C2 comrades for having invited me to give greetings on behalf of AITUC to 17th Conference, All India Conference of C2. Comrades, for us, these conferences are not events. In our conferences, as I understand in AITUC, in C2 and others, when we trade unions meet in our conferences, that is the time for deliberations to understand what has been going on, what is happening today, and how we look at tomorrow. How we did in the past, how we have to gear up today, and how we have to meet the challenges which are facing on our face, how to handle the future. Definitely, I am very sure the deliberations in this conference will definitely enrich your experience. Whatever you did in the past as an organization, as a part of working class, not only in India, you are inseparable part of the working class movement in the world as such. Presence of WFTU Secretary General Comrade Pambis, that itself tells the commentary. So being part of that international community of workers who are fighting barbarism, brutal attack of world capitalism, pre-COVID of course, during COVID of course, and in the post-COVID period. So you will come out with more experience, with more learning, and this is year 2023, crucial year for all of us. 2024 we are going to face another general election in the country. And we know that this situation is very gloomy, very, very serious. Never before in our country we were on crossroads as we are today. In India, we faced difficulties in various decades, in various situations. But under Modi regime, RSS BJP regime, India's freedom is threatened, sovereignty is threatened, unity, integrity is threatened, way of living together in peace and harmony is threatened, and the bread and butter of all those who are working, producing wealth, engaged in manufacture, in production activity, or in service activities, they are being put into testing times, their living standards reducing, jobs reducing, wages getting depressed, occupational safety being compromised. In every way, the working people of our country are in the receiving end. So in such grim situation, when economy is bad, unemployment is rising, prices are soaring high, in such a situation, the role of working class is immense. Working class will have to play its leading role in this particular period, especially when we are going to face general elections in 2024. And that's why government may claim otherwise, have been claiming always, and their claim is that economy is robust. People are very happy. Workers are praising government. Farmers are too happy. So everybody is happy under Modi rule. And now with those so-called chairmanship of G20, they want to tell the world India is robust economy, a great economy with all solutions of problems. But we know the reality. We know it's not only our trade unions and our workers in the government sector or in the public sector who are facing the heat of price rise and unemployment, outsourcing and contractorization, disinvestment and privatization, but almost more than 90% workforce in informal economy is under severe attack. It is becoming a question of survival for many of them. What did Crime Bureau report this year? Their report was, out of the suicide taking place in India, almost near 25% suicides happened of the daily wage laborers, casual laborers, those who live on everyday work. If the work is there, something goes in the family to eat the bread. If that day there is no work, family sleeps hungry. So if in the suicides, 25% our workers who do not have 25 days in a month work, and whatever little work they get, they don't have proper wages. No occupational safety, health at the work situations. So we know the ground reality. We know that poverty is rising. We know that homelessness is rising. All these things you are aware, we are aware, and your leadership through documentation and presentations, through serious deliberations, will bring into focus several of the facts, data and statistics. What I want to say, my friends, last year when the Oxfam report came, lots of debate and discussion around that report. How pre-COVID and during COVID, the situation was utilized by the rulers who promote corporate sector, who promote big business, and who beat the working masses, who convert the language in a different tone. We, the workers who are wealth producers, we are termed as parasites, and those who earn because of their policies huge profits, cutthroat competition and huge profit, increase their wealth, accumulation of wealth happens, Our government, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi says, they are the wealth producers. Those who are looting our work, looting our labor, looting the common masses, taking from the pockets of the poor downtrodden, filling the coffers of the high top echelons. Those top echelons who are looters, they are termed as wealth producers. Languages are manipulated. Definitions are being changed. Whole of understanding of political economy is being made topsy-turvy. In such a situation, when we were debating that Oxfam report, it told us that 102 billionaires increased to 142 billionaires in 1 year of lockdown period. And what is the report today of Oxfam? From that 102 billionaires, crorepati, kharapati, it is not 142, now it is 166. This is the latest Oxfam report. So billionaires are rising and poor are increasing in number. Accumulation of wealth in the hands of few, inequality, gaps rising, and this report says, from the previous report up till this report, that gap has further deepened. When in 2018, the 50% below year population was having about 13% of wealth at their disposal. Today's report says, which is printed just 3 days ago, it says, no, the share of wealth in the hands of 50% lowest population of our country is only 3%. So there is no improvement. It is deterioration. Child labor on rise, unemployment on rise, gaps on rise, and the wealth from the poor people going into the coffers of rich and affluent. In that background, it's horrifying that 1% of top population is owning 40.5% wealth in the country. One can give lots of figures, and when we ask pension to all, increase our wage, give us occupational safety measures, protect our children, spend more on education for them, increase the health budget, they say, you people keep demanding. You, the trade unions, organizing the workers, keep asking and asking. From where? From where the taxpayers' money should be distributed as doles to you. Is it the truth? This is not the truth. Every one of our workers, even the worker who committed suicide because there is no food at home, was also paying tax. There is a system of direct tax, there is a system of indirect tax. And indirect tax is many times more than the direct tax. The rich and affluent and the middle classes, they come in the direct tax category. And all our people, whole population, including our unorganized workers, everybody is covered under indirect tax. And we pay almost 80% of the total revenue collection in this country. And they tell us on our face, why are you asking increase Manrega days? Why are you asking minimum wage should be increased? From where the government will give pension to all? We have nothing. This is how the government responds. Today I want to say, what is this Oxfam report telling? Just imagine, 64% of the total collection of GST has come from the lowest 50% population of our country. And that lowest 50% population is informal economy worker or a poor farmer, marginal farmer. And how much GST is paid by the big corporate houses? The top 10%, including corporates and little less, 10% of that population has shared how much? Much less. Rather, I should say, top 4% population, their GST contribution is only 10%. And then they make the state governments to beg before them, pay our share, and the center will not listen to. We know these ground realities, and many more exposures are coming. Lots of data and statistics proves what we have been telling. We, the trade unions, have been continuously telling. There is no dearth of money to answer to our questions and to our demands, and covering everybody under pension, raising the minimum wage according to the International Indian Labour Conference, 15th Indian Labour Conference. All those possibilities are there. But the government has always been on denial mode. That's why, my friends, I don't want to take too much of your time. You have several speakers who will be addressing this open session. All these 5 days you will be debating. But I just want to repeat what we all witnessed, that how COVID-19 period, lockdown period, and sometimes lockdown, then unlocked, then again lockdown. That whole 2 years of period was hell for us. And that was the period used by Narendra Modi government to attack the farmers with 3 farm laws. That was the period to impose labor codes on us, to take away our rights, for which our predecessors fought for 150 years. Should we not be angry? Should we not be prepared to take headlong this government? That is the time they used for merger of banks, talking of privatization of banks, attacking our railways, our petroleum, our ports, our airports, every sector including electricity, every sector put under attack on this privatization plea. National monetization pipeline brought during that period to take away all of our infrastructure creation to be handed over to the corporate sector. So I am not surprised what I heard from Mr. Dhinkar, Vice President of India. I am not surprised what 5 days ago Shri Mohan Bhagwat of RSS said. I am not surprised. They have nothing to offer us on platter. They can't claim anything. How much employment? How much control on price rise? How much to the workers? What about pension? They have nothing to tell us. On every front they have failed. So on the one hand side, we have to utilize this whole year, campaigning, mobilizing, agitating, making awareness of our working masses, through them to the common masses, and going and telling them, look at the real face of this regime. And this regime has no right to stay in the power in 2024. We have to prepare that. But as because they know very well, they have nothing to offer, they have nothing to tell how much is accomplished of the promises made in 2014 or in 2019. 5 days ago I was reading Sita Raman. She said we were committed for double earning of the farmer. It is going to happen. I don't know when it is going to happen. farmers have shown their anger. They sat for 13 months on the borders of Delhi. Working class stood with them. All central trade unions were in solidarity with them. All that we accomplished. And our farmers showed their fighting spirit also. But now, as I am saying, our agenda is very clear. We will be moving ahead. And 30th January is the date chosen by the central trade unions for a national convention of workers. And in national convention of workers, the kind of agenda we are going to finalize, we had preliminary discussion on 14 January. On 24 January, central trade unions will be meeting again. And we will give final shape to our program. And from that National Convention of Workers on 30th January, that is the time we are not going to sit quietly. Every one of us, under our banners, our union members or our central trade union banners, we will have to be putting up the battle. But I remind you, what Vice President of India has said and what Mohan Bhagwat has said, I want to repeat here. They have set their election agenda. That's why it is very, very important for the working class. Keeping our unity, keeping unity of our masses, valuing the democratic secular values, core values of Indian Constitution, moving ahead as Indian citizens, rural and urban, to fight for our nation, to fight for our people, to fight to save Indian Constitution's core values. It becomes important. What did Dinkar say? I don't know. He is Dinakar or Dinkar? Dhankar. He is Dhankar, Vice President of India. Those sitting here from Bengal know that he was governor there. And what was his role as a governor there? He has been awarded with becoming a Vice President of India. What did he say? Every instrument of the government we know, Modi government has played with, skewed it. Its democratic functioning has been all decimated. We know it. Every instrument is being used against opposition, against trade unions, against farmers' movement, against intellectuals, against students, against artists, all sections of society, and the human rights activists, those who fight for SCs and STs, every instrument is used. And now they have not spared even judiciary. Judiciary is being intimidated. We could understand that. But now, Vice President, who has a political understanding with the background of RSS BJP, he says, where is the question of judiciary being independent? Look from where this sentence is coming. He is saying judiciary should not be independent and is not independent. That means judiciary is also another arm of the government. This is the understanding of RSS BJP rulers. Second thing he said, not only this, he also said, why the people are talking of basic values and basic structure of Indian Constitution, core values and basic structure. So he says, there is nothing like basic structure and core values of Indian Constitution. You can change the Constitution when you want to. So we have not been saying that amendments in Constitution can't be brought. But we have been saying preamble of the Constitution and the fundamental rights of the Constitution cannot be touched upon. And the big bench of Supreme Court has already ruled on this. If Vice President of India with a political background says this sentence, it has a very serious meaning. It means if they come to the power in 2024, they will simply be smashing Indian Constitution. Secular democracy will have no meaning. Goal of socialism will have no meaning. Equality and justice will have no meaning. Social justice will have no meaning, because they will tamper with the Constitution, rather they will change the Constitution. So the agenda is set. Agenda is on whatever our freedom fighters fought and got for India, the Indian Constitution, which gave us all those values which we wanted, for which Indian trade unions fought for. The second statement is of Mohan Bhagwat. What did he say? 1000 साल के बाद हिंदू जागा है. लाजमी बात है, हिंदू जागा है तो थोड़ा गुस्से में होगा, क्योंकि अभी जागा है ना. वो जागा है, इधर उधर देखेगा, करवट लेगा, फिर उठेगा, फिर मेरे साथ अन्याय हुआ, 1000 बरस मुझे लड़ना है. What is this nonsense statement? It's not a nonsense statement, my comrades. It's a very calculated statement to tell the nation and his bhaktas that the election should be fought once again on hatred, on polarization, on Hindu-Muslim discourse, because Modi government failed on all aspects. Now only use this communal card, hatred card, to win another election. That's why we have to understand what is our path. We have to understand how they are going to counter our path. And it's a battle, do and die battle. And we, trade unions, chose 30th January very wisely, because that is the day of martyrdom of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, who on the one hand side led Dandi March, that our natural resources are our natural resources. And on the other hand, Mahatma Gandhi, who was assassinated because he was for peace and harmonious living of all religious groups. So it has double meaning, clear meaning on two scores. And we, the working class, carrying forward the unity of our masses, fighting the assassinators of Mahatma Gandhi, those who are using him as a symbol for Swachh Bharat. Slowly and slowly his face is gone, only his spectacles remain, and one day those spectacles will also be gone from there. They use every situation just to enhance themselves. So we should know it. Who are ruling? We should know who we are. We should know what is their program. We know what is our program. So the battle lines are very clear. I came here just to express and share how ARTUC is feeling about, and knows very well our C2 comrades will be seriously deliberating all those issues. Your documents will be full of wisdom. Even after going back from your conference, those documents will be so useful for us and for you for the campaign in future. So I'm very confident that the 17th conference of C2 will be landmark. Our 42nd conference in Allah Puja, we came with clear understanding. We have to mobilize masses to create an environment to throw this regime out of power in 2024. And I am very sure you comrades will definitely be discussing and debating about and coming out with a fitting slogan from your All India Conference. And here, in the end, comrades, I know at present the labor codes are not implemented. Our collective bargaining is under challenge if these labor codes are implemented. So it is not only economic benefits of our people, the policies of the nation for poor people and common people, which is our agenda. Our agenda is also the labor codes. Serious agenda with us. If they come to power, no trade unions. The way you are able to organize now, no rights will remain there. We will be thrown back into British era. So we have nothing to lose but our chains. That's what we have been telling when we organize the workers. So today we once again assert, fight and fight, unite and fight to the end so that we free our country from the yoke of RSS BJP rule, which is against workers, against farmers, against people, against our nation. So save the people, save the nation. That slogan united all the trade unions on 9th August campaigns, and I think this time also 9th August campaign will definitely find place in our joint declaration which we are in the preparation. I salute all of you. I thank the C2 leadership, and with that salute I raise a slogan. Inqilab Zindabad! Inqilab Zindabad! Workers Unity Zindabad! Workers Unity Zindabad! Trade Union Unity Zindabad! Trade Union Unity Zindabad! Thank you, comrades.
Thank you, Amarjit.
Yes, yes, please.
Before I invite the next speaker, I very humbly request all the speakers, because of the time constraints and the very tight schedule that we have, and some of the colleagues have also to leave because they have booked their tickets. Keeping in all these things in mind, I very humbly request the speakers to limit their greetings to 7 to 10 minutes. We are very sorry, but because of the constraint of the time, we are compelled to do that. So next speaker, VP Nagnath from HMS. He is the General Secretary of the Karnataka State Committee of HMS.
Yes, come on, you welcome.
Respected all CITU leaders, central leaders who are in dais. अजी 17 years का conference का today function should be success. I am the General Secretary of Hindu Mazdoor Sabha, supporting to what CITU is taking decision. We are totally supporting them on behalf of Karnataka HMS. हमारा HMS का हरिभजन सिंह सिद्धू जी सेंट्रल ट्रेड यूनियन लीडर है, वो नेशनल लीडर है HMS का. उसका टोटली इज फाइटिंग फॉर रिगार्डिंग दिस अगेंस्ट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज. अभी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का पॉलिसी जो कर रहा है मोदी साहब ने, अभी 2014 से ये गवर्नमेंट आने के बाद हमारा ट्रेड यूनियन लोगों का कोई काम नहीं हो रहा है। उसका मर्जी से वाट एवर ही वांट ही इज डूइंग अगेंस्ट वर्कर्स, अगेंस्ट द ट्रेड यूनियन लीडर्स। सो इसका मतलब है वो कभी भी ये ट्रेड यूनियन युगों को आगे बढ़ने को नहीं देना। वन मैन शो हो गया है अभी, वन मैन शो चल रहा है। इसलिए हम लोग सभी इकट्ठे होके जॉइंट ट्रेड यूनियन सभी लोग मिलके हम लड़ने का है आगे। अभी तो मोदी ने कितना क्रिएट कर है जीएसटी का, वो ईपीएफओ का प्रॉब्लम क्या है, वो सभी शेयर अमाउंट को डाल रहा है, पीएफ का अमाउंट ले जाके। और दूसरा जो वर्कर्स का डिमांड्स है वो अभी 44 इसका पॉलिसी को ओनली 4 में जमा हो रहा है। और किसानों का 1 साल 2 महीने तक उसका स्ट्राइक करते गए। लास्ट में बिकॉज ऑफ वो इलेक्शन पर्पस के उसका प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दिया 3 लोगों को। सो ऐसा हमारा जो इंडिया में चल रहा है, हमारा मोदी गवर्नमेंट का अगेंस्ट चल रहा है। हम जो पूरे लोग सपोर्ट करते हैं। हमारा एचएमएस जो सीआईटी का को डिसीजन ले रहा है उसके लिए हम टोटली सपोर्ट है ऑल ओवर इंडिया से। सो अभी मोदी ने नया कानून लेके आ रहा है, उसको हम अपोज कर रहे हैं। हम इसके लिए आगे लड़ना है। एवरी ईयर प्रति एक साल को हमें 2 दिन का ऑल ओवर इंडिया का स्ट्राइक कर रहे हैं। 2016 से चल रहा है। 2 दिन दिल्ली में पार्लियामेंट रोड में हम जो 1 लाख लोग स्ट्राइक कर दिए, ऑल ट्रेड यूनियन वाले टोटल एवरी 8 स्टेट वाले 1 लाख लोग वो स्ट्राइक करे। लेकिन वो किसी पेपर में नहीं आया, कोई टीवी में नहीं आया, वो भी सभी बंद करके उसको ऐसा चला रहा है। सो इसलिए मैं हमारा रिक्वेस्ट इतना है एचएमएस से सभी मिलके आगे बड़ा स्ट्राइक करना पड़ता है। वो 1 दिन का स्ट्राइक नहीं होता है। और जैसे किसान लोगों कैसे करे हम वो होगा, वैसा ही हमारा ऑल ट्रेड यूनियन वाले मिलके सभी वर्कर्स का डिमांड के लिए करना पड़ता है। रिगार्डिंग फैमिली पेंशन स्कीम, अभी रेलवे का हमारा एचएमएस का अफिलेटेड यूनियन है, हुबड़ी में कर दिया है। उनका भी डिमांड था ओल्ड पेंशन करने के लिए, उसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं है। ऐसा जो नया पेंशन स्कीम करा है वो इसको कोई पेंशनर्स को बेनिफिट नहीं होता आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट। सो मेनी डिमांड्स वो अभी कर रहा है। इसलिए हमें जो लड़ना है इसके लिए सभी मिल के करना है। आज का जो 17 ईयर्स का जो सीआईटी का ये सेमिनार चल रहा है उसको हम सपोर्ट करें, उसको सक्सेस होना है। जो ऐसा ही हमारा सपोर्ट है बोल के मैं ये 2 बात करके ख़त्म करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू।
Now I will request Comrade K. Somsekhar, Vice President of AIUTUC, to greet the conference. Comrade Somsekhar.
Respected President, respected Comrade General Secretary, WFTO, and distinguished leaders sitting on the dais, and comrade delegates. Firstly, on behalf of All India United Trade Union Center, AIUTUC, All India Committee, I wholeheartedly greet this conference. Warm revolutionary greetings, all of you, on the occasion of 17th All India conference of CITU. Comrades, we are passing through a very critical situation. You all know how working class is attacked by this central government. Recently, one after another, anti-workers measures are taken by the central government. This capitalist system is crisis-ridden system. It is a dying system. What we can expect from this system? This fascist government, it has unleashed the attack on trade union rights, hard-won rights. So here we have to seriously think over how to resist this anti-workers measures, policies taken by the central government. Comrades, you know, after the introduction of this globalization, privatization and liberalization policy, what is happening in our country? All public sectors, they are being privatized. Bank, insurance, railway, even electricity, education, health, everything is privatized. In whose interest this privatization policy are being introduced? We know it is in the interest of monopoly houses, in the interest of corporate companies. They want profit, they want market now. So easing of doing business, all these policies are introduced. And we know that 29 labor acts have been amended and passed in the parliament as 4 labor codes without discussing with any trade union leaders, without any consultation with the stakeholders. Is there any democracy in our country? No, comrades, it is a fascist government, out and out fascist government. Not only in our country, throughout the world we are seeing this. When capitalism came, when it was progressive, then it upheld the freedom, liberty, fraternity. Now this system is collapsing, dying. So comrades, we have to organize, we have to think over. Of course, central 10 trade unions, we are unitedly building nationwide workers' struggle against these policies. But here, I request, please ponder over this question. Glorious historic peasants' movement we have seen. 700 peasants, they gave their life against the black acts of agricultural privatization, what Modi has brought. They fought it like anything because of their struggle, united struggle, brave struggle. Ultimately, government has to withdraw those black acts. Here we have to think over seriously. I am requesting you. Why we are not able to organize such a militant mass movement? We are supposed to organize such a movement. It is very much required. It is need of the hour. After the COVID, how workers, peasants, common people are being looted, exploited. Situation is very horrible. Life has become suffocating, miserable. Adani, Ambani, Tata, Birla, their profit is increased. hourly, daily. Within a year, last year, Adani, his profit has increased 46%. Only 5% of this industrialists, they are controlling 60% wealth of this country. So by this we can understand how the central government is looting, exploiting, and whose interest it is protecting. Poverty is rising, unemployment is rising, highest in the country. Price rise, inflation. So in this background, we have to think seriously. So need of the hour is a massive militant movement, uncompromising struggle. Workers can change the world. But before that, they have to change themselves. Need of the hour is we have to change ourselves first. We know from the teachings of Comrade Lenin, within this capitalist system, worker is a bare slave. What can he expect? At best, some economic demands, not exploitation. So exploitation, oppression, suppression is the rule of this capitalist system. Globalization, liberalization means it is ruthless exploitation, cruel exploitation. How so-called these democratic governments behaved in time of COVID. Migrant workers, contract workers, unlicensed workers, how much they suffered. So this is the condition. Recently in Maharashtra, electricity employees, 32 organizations, they gave 72-hour strike call against the electricity of privatization. It became very successful, glorious, because of their united fight against the Maharashtra government. Maharashtra government requested Madhya Pradesh employees in this strike, but Madhya Pradesh employees, they refused to serve in Maharashtra. They supported workers' employees' strike. So comrades, we have to move forward. Need of the hour is we have to sacrifice. A militant mass movement is required. I earnestly appeal you all, please think over. Surely you will discuss, deliberate on burning issues of our working class facing today. I hope this conference will strengthen the united workers' movement. Not only that, we have to build up a massive, uncompromising struggle. So that way, I wish your conference will be a grand success. So I thank CITU leaders giving me opportunity to participate in this conference and express my revolutionary greetings to you all. Inqilab Jindabad, Workers Unity Jindabad. Thank you.
Comrades, now our honorary Subbarao.
Which one you take? Comrade Peshwa will take you. Peshwa will take. I'm here. No, you stand.
ఓకే ఏం చేశారు ఓకే कमेंट नागनाथ और चंद्रशेखर कमेंट चंद्रशेखर प्लीज जॉइन
Are you?
Go there to have a photo of Shanmugamji, all right?
He's all right.
Okay.
So 24th meeting, try to join. 24th January. Either through Zoom or physically.
Okay.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕಾ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ
To hold the hands.
KCTU जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
दुनिया के मजदूर
एक बार
दुनिया के मजदूर
एक बार
इंकलाब जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद
जिंदाबाद। अब समझ में आई सिंधु की आवाज आ रही है।